some best practices. So to survey the need and gain insight. So like I said before, our AmeriCorps Vista volunteer for the first semester that she was here, she really tried to figure out the research around this need on campus, kind of get a gauge of our community as and the culture on our campus, and also start talking to some of the people who make decisions on the campus. And NCC, we are so fortunate that our administration was on board from the very beginning. Our president is really awesome about service learning and service, and knowing that our students are more than just sitting in the classroom, that they have needs. And so our administration, I don't think if you don't have the administration support, it's almost impossible to do this. I don't know if you have your administration on board. And some of them say to me, how do you get your administration on board? And I say, I have no idea. They were just there. They were just on board from the very beginning. And our president is here today, if somewhere else today. But we are very fortunate. I don't know if anyone has been to NCC, but our campus is overpopulated. We have no space. So to get a space was a little bit of a challenge, but our Dean of Administration found an old copy room that wasn't being utilized, and we turned it into our pantry. And also gave us basic, shelving, cabinetry. And if you see our pantry now, it's really been changing to really...
I have our maintenance on speed dial. Can I have?
To reflect what's coming in. So Shannon, I'm sure she'll talk about it in a few minutes, but we have a new, so before we were just doing shelf-stable, non-perishable foods, and now we have this whole fresh food. We have a freezer, we're getting a refrigerator, so we're able to do this whole new fresh food campaign, and Shannon's been really great. I'm sure she'll talk about that. But so our pantry is evolving, and now we're almost out of space. We need to move, but there's nowhere for us to really go.
Donate it, even the equipment?
Yes.
The refrigerator?
Yep.
Professional beggar.
Yeah. Shannon, she has our brochures, and she is more than willing to sit down with you guys. I'm just offering it up. That anytime.
Industrial refrigerator or just a traditional refrigerator?
Biology department just gave me theirs. So it's a really nice, beautiful stainless steel. And please tell me nothing dead was in there.
Yeah. It was not being used at all.
Yeah, they weren't using it. So, but the freezer was donated, Craigslist. So, try commercial I found a great one, and the guy was willing to give it to me. I don't have the space for it. It was too big. It was 75 inches wide, and
we don't have the space for it.
More than 60.
Yeah. So also service learning, so that's where I come in. So the pantry was started through my office, service learning office, and the Office of Adult Learning. So we kind of partnered and we pooled our resources. The Vista is under my office, and so we're able to do a lot of activities around with students and other departments to get our food. So we do events. We do like the Day of Thanks every fall, and it produces thousands of items of food that goes into the pantry. We also I know it's not on the slide, but we also are very mindful about, we had a investigative story by our student paper, which they called us and said, we are doing an investigative story on you. Saying that we hear a lot of food is being wasted. We waste very little food. If a ton of items you'll find is donated already, expired. We have, and Shannon could tell you, I don't know the guidelines of how foods is okay, even if after expired. So we had that posted, and all of those items do not count towards their 20 items. So if they want to take some macaroni cheese that expired this month, last month, they can definitely take that with no count towards their 20 items. And so we also, during this event, only asked for food that we knew that we need. We have an abundance of corn, canned corn, and canned green beans. So we just did not ask for it. And if any came in, we took that, boxed it up, and donated to another pantry right away. We never took anything into the pantry that we knew was just going to sit there and go wasted. English. Okay. But service learning, so a ton of the faculty who work with me to incorporate service learning into their courses will offer this, if it meets with their course goals and objectives, to the pantry. So I have like an English class right now, and their only place that the faculty member offers to do service learning is in the pantry. So currently we have 17 service learning volunteers in the pantry. Yes.
I'm sorry, you've got some questions. We literally.
Yes, no, please.
Starting this right now.
Please.
One of the concerns of our committee was that students could not actually staff the food pantry due to confidentiality issues. So we were thinking more that students would be used to rotate staff, to do shelves, but not to actually for open hours.
Yeah. We do have.
We do, and I talk to them, we train them. It is one of my guidelines is that we respect their privacy and integrity for the members. The members are talked about respecting the privacy and integrity of other members. So if you see someone in the pantry, you're not like, hey, how you doing? Because you know what? They may not want to acknowledge that. And I have not had a single issue.
Yeah,
Do
and
your students have to sign anything saying, if we have a confidentiality
Yeah.
waiver that the students sign?
No,
Yeah, don't we have-
we don't have a waiver for them to sign. We do have the guidelines that we go over with our student volunteers as well. We don't have them sign it.
But we give it to them.
We give it to them, but we don't have them
And
sign
one
it.
other question, I was also told that your members should sign something that if, God forbid, they got food that made
Yes.
them ill.
Yes.
Shannon-
Hold harmless.
Shannon could, if we,
I'm definitely gonna, yeah.
she can give you all of our
Yeah,
documents,
yeah.
all of the documents that we have.
Yeah.
Well, the waiver we were looking at doing, but the Emerson Act that Clinton signed in
Yes.
'96,
Yes, the bill,
Really?
the Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Act, I keep it with me. It is in
Yeah.
my car every single
Right.
day, and I use it frequently.
so you don't have to have them sign a waiver
Yeah.
because of that. Because unless there's malicious intent, and you're giving them a can of pork and beans that's 20 years old and
exploding.
disfigured,
Right.
Yeah.
so it has botulism in it, then you're.
Right.
you know.
What's it called? It's the
Emerson.
the Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Act of 1996.
Also, the culture in the pantry is really like a family.
It really
We have
is.
students that if they, it's in a very big space, but if they just need someone to kind of bounce something off of, or they just need a place to take a break, Shannon has become a person that students are frequently engaging with her to, talk about their day or to whatever, just talk about
Like,
their
I'm having
class.
a problem with this class, or, I
So-
have an issue with the teacher.
Yeah, so when you walk into the pantry, it is like a party in there. And not to say it like a bad way, it's just a very welcoming, it's not a party like they're fooling around. It's just like it's a welcoming place that
It's home.
anyone,
It's
it's
a
very
home. It's a
homey.
home away from home.
Yeah, it's not like, they try to make it really light. So it's a serious issue, but there shouldn't be a lot of stigma around it, so.
Yeah, that's been a huge goal of mine this semester, of really taking away what would be considered a stigma. So the logo that we have is a student design logo. Before it said the NCC Food Pantry. I wanted to remove that word food intentionally because we also have school supplies.
Personal
We
care.
also have personal care products. We also have, someone donated a whole bunch of like Tupperware. So it's more than just food for us, but I also wanted it to be more of like going to Whole Foods instead of going to a food pantry. So we actually have this logo intentionally so you could brand it yourself. So the goal was to have the pantry at other colleges, the pantry at Housatonic, the pantry at Middlesex, the pantry. So we intentionally left this to where you could just plug and play your logo, and it would be almost a consortium of pantries throughout the community college system. Michigan has them in nearly every community college. They have been prevalent in getting them done, and they did that because each school worked together to kind of build that rapport of like, it's not a stigma. It's not, it's like the school
reality.
lunch program. School lunch program started off as like the poor kids had school lunch. Now it's in every school, and no one thinks about it twice, right? Everyone's like, oh, school lunch program is free and reduced lunch, and no one cares.
Right.
And that's really what I want for
Right.
this. I
And-
really want it to be something that no one cares.
Right. We have, and talking about the free and reduced lunch, we're finding that a lot of the students that are coming in at 18, as coming right from high school, they were getting that free and reduced lunch, and then coming to NCC or wherever, and they're not getting that resource anymore, and then they are hungry. So we also, in our pantry, have a grab-and-go section that does not also reflect their 20 items. They could take 2 items per day that has oatmeal or
Snack bars, oranges, apples.
right, so they could come in, take something from
Little
there.
healthy snack, little soups, like easy opening
Yep.
soups.
So that doesn't, again, count towards their items. They could take 2 a day if they want to, and it's just to get them through that day if they don't want to, they can't buy anything in the cafeteria.
Right.
Not that
it's
much in stock that they take 2 items per day?
They-
Those same people come back every day?
A lot.
Really?
A
Or
lot.
trail mix,
And I
things
know,
that-
and I know which kids really need it, and so they'll come like, can I have one more? Because they're here for 8 hours, and they're hungry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I want their brain to focus in
But-
school, and we're really hoping I mean, we haven't, we're doing that follow-up with
Yeah.
Christina Testabuzzi, who is Office of Adult Learning, doing that follow-up to look at the GPAs, to making sure that, are these kids staying in school? How is it affecting their study? And I do my own study, so I did one in December, I sent out a survey. How is this affecting your life? Is this helping you in school? And absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, I just did the numbers last week where it's, we have 100% positive feedback, 100%. Of the kids who responded, of the responses that I got, like 86% said it was a positive effect in their life. Absolutely agree, was
Yeah.
it the strongly agree?
Yeah.
Strongly agree. The rest agreed.
Yeah.
As there was absolutely nothing below that.
Yeah.
So it's making an impact into
Yeah.
these kids' lives. And I don't even want to say kids, because
Yeah.
some of our pantry members are in their 30s, some of them are 40s, some of them are over 40.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's your source for the food?
Oh, we'll get into that.
Two-part
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Source for the food, and is food rescue part of it?
Yes.
So, go to the next one. So, all this food, all up there. So I'm a
Here,
little
take
bit.
this.
Oh, I get to take that
Yes.
again. Oh, yay. I'm a little bit dogmatic when it comes to recycling. I've been in environmental. I've worked in nonprofit for energy efficiency and stuff like that. So when I see stuff goes to waste, it drives me insane. So my sister worked for Costco. She just passed away in December, and I was talking to her manager. I'm like, why doesn't Costco donate their food? They're like, don't know, corporate policy. What if someone gets sick? So I contacted their sustainability desk. I'm like, you guys put in LED lights. You have LEED certified buildings. What's with this? And after several phone calls and multiple conversations, I got them to change corporate policy. All this is Costco. I pick up every single day. And I pick up apples, bananas, lettuces, fruits. Literally, this picture was taken 2 days ago.
Can you go back to the picture of you?
Oh, my broccoli picture? Let's see, I have to go back.
Sorry, but it's...
So this was my very first pickup from Costco. I have an SUV. I have a Highlander hybrid, right? It was from behind my seat to the trunk, full of broccoli. That's all broccoli. Those are bags of broccoli. Costco-sized bags of broccoli. Costco-sized bags of broccoli. So if you listen to the NPR piece, she calls me a crazy broccoli hoarder.
And what did you do with them?
Well, what I couldn't use in the past, it happened to be the day that we were going on spring break. So I didn't have students. So I'm working really closely with our community partners of Person to Person and Norwalk Open Door and Gillespie Center. So things like you saw my space. I don't have space. I just don't. I would love to get space. If I'm going to give you one piece of advice, find someplace close to a door, because you're going to find yourself walking in with food all the time. So, I just don't have the space. So I have, my student population is growing. If I don't use it at the end of the day, and because up until now, I haven't had a refrigerator,
I give it to person, I'll give it to Norwalk Open Shelter. If it's shelf stable, I hold on to it.
By individual bag, by the whole bag.
The whole bag, oh my God, I had like 250, 300 bags of broccoli. So,
Right before we walk in the door, one of the volunteers, student volunteers that's called Shannon, said, what do we had bags of like pre-made lettuce, like has all like the dressing and the topping.
salads, yeah, salad kits.
And so he just said.
He's like, we don't have students here today, so, yeah.
he's like, "Get rid of it."
I'm sorry? We do have a culinary program. So yesterday, this is, in being creative, we did who ever watched Chopped? Yeah, we did a Chopped challenge of pantry items. So we did one in November and we had one yesterday. And I'm literally taking things that you would find in a pantry. And our parameters, we did actually bought a protein for this one, but the parameters were, it had to be on manager special. Because I want it to be that you can take common food items that you did. This one was particularly nefarious because I did this one. She was so much nicer. I did stovetop stuffing. I did canned chicken, Chef Boyardee ravioli. And then we had, what else did we have on that? We had, we had corn, and then we had a faculty versus staff versus student, and the student won.
What did they do exactly?
They took common pantry items and they had to make a dish, make something creative out of it. The student won yesterday too. So I'm really excited, yeah. So they got a spatula with their name on it.
And also, or all the produce is rescue food.
It's all rescue
To show
food.
that even though it doesn't look pretty, now Costco is throwing away, and they'll literally throw it away, boxes of oranges, that one orange.
One orange is bad,
So
and the
we
whole box
take
goes.
it, and then we have our student volunteers kind of pick
Right.
through the, with, gloves.
And our environmental science class,
Certified because of the culinary and pick
No,
no.
because we're not.
because we're not serving it.
Yeah.
And anything that we do find, like the rotten orange, we're working with our environmental science classes to compost. So we have so we have zero waste. Any of the plastics that we get go to recycling. So we really have no waste at all coming through our program.
Yeah, and we're finding like things come up, and then we're just kind of like, you have to be really flexible. So like we're finding that the students need something that they think we should start with rather than go. And we find out that we have all these items coming in from Costco, and then, some of these bananas are split open. What do we do with them?
To you?
No, I'm not picking up, but have you heard of the program Community Plates? So they are amazing. They're a food rescue organization that started off in Norwalk. And what they do is this. You have food to donate, you're a food pantry. There's a volunteer that takes it from you to you. And they have people who have runs. So they work with Trader Joe's, they work with Whole Foods. I just got a whole bunch of granola from Whole Foods that they delivered to me. You'll find bread is common. Everyone wants to pawn off like the artisan bread. It doesn't last. So I throw it in the freezer and then they can take it from there. I don't take bread generally because you'll just get so much of it. If I get bagels, sure, I'll take bagels. If I get, muffins, yeah, I'll take muffins. But those fresh baguettes and stuff, they don't last. So they just end up going into
We
composting.
got a huge batch of bananas, and some of them were split open, some of them were brown, and some of them were good. So the students sorted, like on the shelf.
They have
good
gloves, they like,
The ones that were too brown but not brown, we put them in the freezer. So if students want to
Smoothies.
take them for smoothies, banana bread, they still could take them. And then the split ones or the stuff that were oozing, which were some, went to come.
want to compost.
I don't know if I missed it, but what was your sales pitch to Costco?
The Bill Emerson Act. It was, and they're already proud, they're very proud of their sustainable programs. They use LED lightings, they have LEED certified buildings, they have pervious pavement. They really want to be perceived as something that's sustainable. It still drives me insane. When I went there yesterday, they had all these cookies they were about to pitch into it. I'm like, what is wrong with you? They do it with flowers still because the flower is an actual outside vendor. I'm like, you realize that you could take those to a hospital or a nursing home and it would just brighten their day. Why? But flowers are not my fight. I have to limit my fight because I get really passionate and I get really insistent and it, which is good, but
We're almost done, so I just want
so,
to,
yeah.
you have this,
So-
also, maybe they could read it and ask any other.
yeah, this is just like the benefits which we kind of talked about. But We are really passionate, and we feel like we are making an impact, and we're hoping that we can get more schools on board, and we are absolutely willing to share our knowledge and what we've done and how we've done it, because it's,
Come to Kent, I don't know if
Yeah.
but you're welcome to come.
So it sounds like you're doing well. So if you have, is there ever a low tide of food? I mean,
yeah, right now our pantries, our canned goods are low. So we work
with, so we do an event every fall.
November.
That is the Day of Thanks. So what we're finding is we have 40 clubs on campus, and they would put like all of these little paper boxes around the hallway, and they would ask for food or something, and you become like immune to them. They're just, everyone's doing it, so we pool it. So we ask during the month of half of October into November that nobody does any type of food drive or just contribute
Or
to
clothes
ours.
drive or book drive, and so we.
Yeah, so when we first started the pantry, this event yielded 4,000 food items that went into the pantry.
And
donated the bags too?
We bought the bags. What we did was we went to all college meetings, department meetings. We walked around the hallway with these. We gave them to faculty, staff, clubs.
Freshman
We did
orientation.
We did like a contest of like who can collect the most food.
Mhm.
We gave them the bags, expecting them to fill it and return it. And then we had a problem of where do we put it all? And we had this empty classroom, not an empty office, and then we had to move it to another empty office. And we were moving these
So
bags.
how big is your space?
It's about 10 by 20. It's really not big.
No, it's not.
But it's
But
not
we have
very
shelves. We
large.
have 4 shelves, and they're stocked, and also
Yeah.
with building it.
I don't think I
wire
have any
shelving
other- I don't have any
that's
pictures
really
here.
Not very strong for cans.
This is my Zen music.
So was there a budget initially?
No budget, we don't have a budget. If a
Okay.
club does a fundraiser and they want to take money on, we're still.
Good, because this music goes for 5, so.
We don't really have coding or anything, so if they want to do a fundraiser and they've raised $100, we ask that they go buy a gift card and donate to the
So
pantry.
your shelving and everything is donated?
All donated, and like I said, I'm the queen of begging, so, and maintenance is, it's amazing how much,
It's not on board. It's really hard.
yeah, you have to get maintenance on board, because they are the ones that are like, I need a whiteboard, I need shelves. Keep an eye out for those big green industrial shelves, and I got one, they're looking for another one. But they're key to.
They move these bags from one side of the school to the other side.
They're really helpful, they're
But-
really
but
nice.
Is your school, or, well, I think that you have a place where you dump food?
Yeah, I actually have several collection sites. I have one in the library on the East Campus. Because we're a split campus, it makes it hard. I have one in the Wellness Center, which is a major entry point. I have one in the Academic Services, and I have one right outside my door.
Throwaway food.
Throwaway food?
Yeah.
The compost, the professor of environmental science, the director of the program, comes over to the pantry and picks it up and takes it with him. So he has student workers, and he has environmental science students volunteer to come actually pick it up, take it, and then come bring the bin back.
Those could be service lines.
And they should be bins that close really, really tightly. You had a question, I'm sorry.
So my question is about staffing.
Staffing.
I know that you use volunteers, but one of the challenges we have at Gateway is staffing, right? Just for community service and service learning, we don't have a program. I am like the one person who's, I mean, granted, there are other people who do it, but who aren't necessarily paid to do it or do,
Do you have a
stuff.
sociology program? Because
We
if
have
you have
human
sociology
services.
100, that's service learning.
Oh, I know. So we have like human services professors and classes, right? But I'm talking about in terms of what you guys do in terms of staffing. So I'm just trying to get a picture of what kind of staffing levels.
Well, so in addition to the service,
I'm service learning coordinator.
right, and I'm Vista, and that's it. So between her volunteers, she's the only one that's full-time. Then I'm, doing my year of service, and then we have I have 17 service learning volunteers, and then I have an additional 5 that are just people who wanted to help. And I don't know if you guys have a program here, College Steps. They're for kids with learning disabilities or challenges. I have a volunteer from there too. And one of the things that Courtney was mentioning is that we have clubs and organizations who helps, like, hey, I want to do a food drive. So actually, College Steps is actually doing one next month, or at the end of this month. They're going to do a food drive for us.
Just one more question, sorry.
Yeah.
About how many, because I know you said you're open 5 days a week for 3 hours, but in terms of the prep, the sorting, just thinking like hours wise, how many?
So
volunteer hours?
those are our guaranteed hours, and then we have extended hours. So we build off of that. So I have my set hours, and then I have my volunteers expand those. So for example, my set hours on Tuesday are 3 to 6 p.m. I actually have volunteers that start at 10 a.m. It could take me all the way to 3 o'clock. So
They're doing tasks that are either sorting, changing the inventory.
clipping coupons. We have a coupon binder. Yeah, going around checking all the bins.
We also have like convocation, like our president let us do bring a can to convocation. So we have a lot of different ways that we'll just ask for cans. Yeah, we're
Next
done
session
with time.
starts
Yeah.
at 1:30.
Oh, okay. Any other questions? Yeah, feel free to, you can reach me, my contact information is here on the back. I answer this pantry email in addition to my own, but you can also go to, right here, this is S. McAvoy Hanley.